As you can see from Mary Price, she answered, I am not interested in these navigation questions. So it's gonna automatically skip the middle part and go straight to the thank you and submit form. You can see it's correct in here with Mary Price, I'm not interested in it, and there's no answer in the middle part. We can see that the result matched the original dataset perfectly. Hello everyone, in this video, I'll show you how to fill out a form using pre-existing data, following the latest update version of the tools. So in the previous video, I already showed you how to fill out a form with 201 responses, and this method, filling in a form based on pre-existing data, will help you handle questions with section navigations, handle multiple choice question where an other option is selected and require additional free text input. For example, if you have 200 data, but your teacher required 400 data, you can always use this method to refill those 200 responses back into your form one more time to create 400 responses. However, if you already have a complete data set and just want to fill it back into the form accurately, you can just skip the next part, which is building the data, and jump straight to the section on filling the data back into the form. Now, I'll walk you through how to build the data from an existing set of responses. Now we're gonna click Start Now. Then you're gonna go straight to Data Encoder sections. You can see it required Edit Survey link and Sheet Data link. You're gonna go back to our form and copy our edit link. Remember, you're gonna copy your edit URL of your Google form, not the public link, the edit link right here. Copy this and paste it here. Then you're gonna need the sheet data link. So here, I already created a sheet before, but to get the most up-to-date and accurate version, you should select Unlink Form. And then we're gonna click Link to Sheets to re-export a new sheet. Okay, after re-exporting, the sheet will be linked to the form. And every time you run the data encoding step, it's a good idea to re-export the form as well, so the question and answer choice are up to date with the latest versions. So at this step, I'm gonna copy the entire edit link of this data sheet and we're gonna paste it right here. Then you're gonna click Encode Data Now. As you can see, the data is automatically saved into our computer. You're gonna go straight to your Google Drive and upload it here. And you're gonna click the file that you just upload. Then you're gonna open it with Google Sheet. So here you can see the data has been encoded. For example, in column C, you can see that your gender, it's turned into 1 and 2 instead of the text input, just like the answer link. So we can see here with the gender question, we have male as the first options and female as the second option. So instead of showing the full text like the answer, the tools encode each answer as the number based on its order of appearance in the form. So like this one, number 1 is going to be male and number 2 is going to be female. Next, for multiple selected question like this one, every answer is separated with double slash. And for open-ended text like this one, you can enter the answer text directly into the answer cell. You can pull this from existing result like this one, or you can just edit a brand new version for yourself. Next, for adding the other answer, for example, with this question, what type of content do you usually watch? In the form, you can see that with this question, we have other options that you need to put the free text in here. If you want to put another answer, you're just gonna put in double slash, then you're gonna write the other answer that you expect. For example, with this one, I'm gonna put in comedy, I'm gonna put in legal rights, or this one I'm gonna put in skits, movies, for example. Those are my examples. Okay. One important note for you. So for a special question like this one, you have to remember that you're gonna highlight the entire data area, this one, this area only. Do not highlight the label header row. And then you're gonna convert this into plain text. So this is because the original numeric format, if it is kept, Google Sheets sometimes interpret values like 4/5 as math expressions instead of the two selected answer, which result in a no value because it can't compute it. So converting it to plain text ensure the data is read as a plain string so the tool can process it correctly. Besides, for form with section navigations, before submission, the flow must lead to one final section, right? So we're gonna call it the thank you sections. For example, we have that in my form, right? Let's see. Yes, it's over here. So if people click I am not interested in, they're gonna go straight to section 12, which is thank you, and submit the form. There are some people that choose that and they're gonna skip the whole middle part, like this one right here. You can see there is no answer in the middle part because they cannot pass the navigation questions. So because every possible path gonna have to eventually route through these sections before the form is submitted, which is the thank you sections. So this tool will automatically navigate your answer, so you don't have to worry about this. This is all automatic. So, and if you want to randomly shuffle the order of the data row, for example, like I said, you have 200 already and you just want to repeat those 200 and you don't want it to be too obvious, you're just gonna have to shuffle all the data. You're gonna highlight the whole data set. Of course, leave the header row alone. You're gonna highlight all of these like this. Then you're gonna click your right mouse. Then you're gonna scroll down and view all other actions and click randomize range. See, we're gonna random all the row. Okay, you can even click it multiple times just for better. You can also map data columns to demographic information yourself. For example, name to genders or age to income or status. So for more complex mapping, like what I just said, you can copy the data to a separate sheet, sort it, and map it manually. This part is fairly long, so the video won't go into detail here. And please remember that you still need to keep at least one numeric encoding column. This is how the tool distinguishes between the label row, the first row in text format, this one, and the actual data row from the second row onward in numeric format. So if every row is formatted as text, Google Sheet won't be able to automatically tell which row is the label row. So that is why I introduced you that you should just highlight the area that you need it to be plain text instead of just highlight the whole thing, because you still need some columns to be numeric. Okay, and once you have a complete data set like this, you're gonna export this sheet to Survify. First of all, we're gonna go back to Survify and we're gonna click Start Field Survey. Go back to your form and copy the edit link and create the new form. Get survey data. We're gonna use pre-prepared data, this one right here. Okay, as you can see, we're gonna need to enter our Google Sheet data. Go back to our data and copy the link, but you have to remember to give access to view your data sheet. Gonna change this to anyone with the link. They can view it, and you're gonna copy the link. Go back to Survify and paste it right here. Gonna click check data. As you can see, each question must be tied to a single unique label, which is the column header, and label must be different across columns. Now we're gonna process with creating form filling order. As you can see right here, we have 201 data in the sheet, so it's gonna be correspond with the number of responses we needed right here. There are also some advanced feature like the spread fill like a real human. You can click no delay, short delay, standard delay, or whatsoever. I already introduced you this feature in the ratio video before, and we're not gonna dig deep into this feature right now. So I'm just gonna go with 201 sample like the data and no delay. So we're gonna get the result as soon as possible for you guys to see. And I'm gonna click start filling survey. Okay, so after filling the form, we have 402 response right here, and we're gonna check the result starting from responses 202 onwards to compare. So as you can see from Mary Price, she answered, I am not interested in this navigation questions, so it's gonna automatically skip the middle part and go straight to the thank you and submit form. You can see it's correct in here with Mary Price, I am not interested in it, and there's no answer in the middle part. We can see that the result matched the original data set perfectly. Every question, every row lines up perfectly, including custom free text answer and other answer that require additional text input. Right here, like you can see, for Kayla Watson, we can see that we have the other answer, which is skits. So we're gonna check it right here with Kayla Watson. Over here with what type of content. As you can see, we have skit as the other answer. Also with the answer distributions ratio, it also matched the original data set exactly. Okay, so that is the wrap up of this guide on filling out a form using pre-existing data. If you already have data or existing result, save it, encode it, and normalize it following the step below, and run the tool. If it's done correctly, filling the data back into the form will be quick, easy, and accurate. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.